We're good to go. So we're going to wait for everyone to show up and welcome horns up. This is Headbanger's Kitchen, and as the current normal is, live stream on the new channel Headbanger's Kitchen New and live stream on the old channel HK's Keto and Low Carb Recipe. And what's great is today's recipe is actually delicious. It's also keto friendly, it's also low carb friendly, so fantastic day for us. Doesn't matter what diet you follow, it can also be high protein. So it's going to be a delicious day. Right, now before we get cooking, I'm going to wait for everyone to join the stream. We'll give them 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll quickly go over the ingredients. So for starters, we have our lemon pepper seasoning. Now this is something you can buy in the stores, and I actually grew up on the McCormick's lemon pepper seasoning from the US, which I absolutely love, but I don't have access to now. So this is a local Indian company that makes a whole bunch of seasonings and spices and different ingredients as well. It's not my favorite lemon pepper seasoning because I know it has a little bit of chili in it, though you don't really need chili in the lemon pepper seasoning. But I have left a link in the video description box to buy this lemon pepper seasoning if you live in India, and a different one if you live in America or anywhere else in the world. So it's in the video description box. So this is basically the main sort of component of the recipe, because this is the seasoning, this is where all the flavor comes from. Then of course we have our protein, which is chicken. Now I am using boneless, skinless chicken leg meat, because this is what you can buy in India in the shop. Yeah, so I've got about 450 grams, which is I think half a pound or maybe 1 pound of chicken, I think so. And you can also use chicken with skin, no problem. You can use breast, no problem. So whatever chicken you've got, I'm going to leave it whole like this. I don't want to cut it and make it smaller pieces or anything. So the chicken is going to remain as chicken steaks almost. And of course, if you don't want to use chicken, you can use fish as well. You can use pork chops. Pork chops are delicious too. Prawns even. Lobster. What else? Lemon pepper beef. You could do a lemon pepper steak, though I think most people who eat steak don't want to color the flavor of the meat. Anyway, then I have got some cheddar cheese here. This is a local Indian brand. So again, any hard cheese, anything that will kind of melt. You could use velveta as well, but velveta is quite strong in flavor. So I recommend like a dry mozzarella or a dry cheddar. Gouda is fine as well. And then of course we got some herbs. Got some parsley and some chives. Once again, you can use dried herbs, no problem. Dried parsley, dried chives. You can use coriander, but I think these fit better. And then we've got cooking cream. Now depending on which country you live in India we just call it dairy cream. You can also use Amul. Amul cream is the other Indian brand. But the reason I picked Delecta is because Amul tends to split when it is heated quite a bit. I think in the UK you can use single cream, double cream, non-sweetened whipping cream. In America I think it's just called heavy cream. And if you're trying to watch the calories, half and half will also do. And I've got some olive oil for cooking. And the last thing we need is water. Right. So that is all the ingredients. Hopefully everybody who's going to be cooking along is here now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. On this one I've got need suggestion regarding a microwave oven. So he's also asked which is better for keto dish. So all microwaves are the same. Microwaves don't care if you're cooking keto, low carb, high carb, low fat, vegan, carnivore, doesn't matter. A microwave is a microwave. The IFB ones in India are quite affordable. Before this I've had an LG one, I've had a Samsung one. They're all pretty good. I would not personally purchase a combi microwave which includes the convection oven as well. I would just stick with a microwave about 700 to 900 watts should do the job. So anyway, Now, before we start cooking, the most important thing to do is prep our ingredients. That's called mise en place. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to move you guys here where you can see, and this camera will just follow me. So the first thing, let's prep the herbs. So I've got some chives here, and the first thing I need to do is get my knife. So the chives you just want to kind of line up. Now there are all these tricks where people take a wet towel and they wrap the chives and all. I don't have time for all that. So, alright, get your knife, make sure your knife is sharp. Alright, so I'm just going to chop the chives. You can like roughly chop them, you can finely chop them. They basically go in at the end to finish the dish. So I kind of just do it like reasonable size. I don't know what the exact measurement is, but it should just be small. Not like super small, but not like super big either. And that's it, we've reached the end of the chives, yeah. So just to show the other camera.
I was holding it close.
Oh, I was just going to show you that. See, like about that big. See, chopped chives. Yeah, about that much. So you just chop them. Okay. And just use the knife and move them to the side a little bit. And now I've got some parsley. So the parsley, what I like to do is I like to just grab it all together and just bunch it up. Yeah. And then you get your fingers like this so you don't cut yourself. Keep your thumb behind your fingers and your knuckles will protect you from the knife. And then just one chop. See, the thing is, you don't want to like do a super, you don't want to bruise the herbs basically. So obviously, the less you chop it, the better. But of course, if you don't want like big chunks of parsley, now as you can see, I've just like fumbled, but you can see my knife is so sharp, it's just cutting through. Yeah, now of course, I want it a little finer, so I'm just going to do one more like this and just go through them. So just a little smaller than what I had. Yeah, that's it. That's my chopped parsley and that's my chopped chives. And I'm going to put them on the same plate because they'll go in at the same time. So there is my parsley. There we go. And you know, you can use one of those bench scrapers. I don't know if you guys watch this gentleman called Andy who is from Australia. Oops.
Andy from MasterChef?
No, not that Andy. Andy, the content creator who does go on to MasterChef. I can't find my bench scraper right now.
Oh, you're talking about
I forgot his last name.
What? He asked his wife what.
Yeah, what do you want for dinner, babe? Andy, that Andy. Anyway, the similar way I'm using the knife, he uses the bench scraper and picks up everything. Of course, the knife is not as wide as the bench scraper, so yeah. And of course, please be careful when you are handling sharp knives. Now, there are only two real things that we need to prep. One is the herbs. So we got our parsley which has been chopped, and we've got our chives which are chopped. Again, like I said, whatever herb you're using, parsley, curly parsley is okay. Chives, spring onions is also actually fine. Just chop them up. Okay, now we are going to grate our cheese. You want to grate it so that it's going to be easier to melt into the sauce, because the sauce is like a cheesy lemon pepper sauce. So there we go, we cut the packet. I'm just going to get the scissor. Just much easier. Okay. There we go. Alright. Pull out the cheese. Let's cut this a little more on the side so it comes out easier. There we go. Hey, just a simple cheddar cheese. I'm going to take out my grater now. There we go. Got one of those box graters. I really want that bench scraper now. I feel like I need it. Here it is. I found the bench scraper. And we want a bowl for the cheese. So you got your grater. Actually, wait. I'm going to show you guys what I think is a trick. Hopefully, we won't need this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our grater. Yeah, I'm going to just lay it. Now normally you would hold it up and you'd grate like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this and I'm going to grate it now. Let's see if this trick works. So let's grate the cheese. And I don't know about wow, for the first time I can't believe I'm going to use an American measurement. Like loosely half or 3/4 of a cup of cheese maybe. Now normally for a keto recipe I would weigh this out, and I'll tell you if you're actually okay. That's about 1/3 of the cheese I've used. I think that should be enough cheese. And remember, this is for like 4 portions, so it's not for one person. So I'm going to show you. Now if I was doing this recipe for my blog or something, I've got my scale here. That's okay, you can see that. Just going to turn it on. And now all the cheese is sort of in this. I'm just going to empty it into the bowl. But now, let's see, let's open it. Let's push the cheese down. There we go. Oh wow, beautiful. Excellent. So that is about 75 grams of cheese. Let's get all the little itty bits in. Just bang that. Just push down whatever's stuck in. Give it a tap here. Okay. Cool. We got a little bit of extra cheese out, which again we can just collect here and put it in the bowl. And now we basically have about 80 grams of cheese. So as you can see here, it says 80 grams of cheese.
It's not going to give you an accurate weight.
Oh, sorry. I'll just show it down.
Yep.
Yeah, can you see it? It's 80 grams of cheese. Oh wait, I'll turn it this way. 80 grams of cheese. So now you know exactly how many calories of cheese are going into your dish. And you can put 100 grams of cheese, no problem. I think 80 should be okay. We can always add more later. But of course, if you're doing this for keto, you want to be as exact as possible, or for any kind of calorie counting or diet. Now I'm going to put this cheese in the fridge, otherwise it will sit out for very long. So give me 1 second. Okay, the cheese is back. Now we just have one more thing to do before we can start cooking. So there's no more prep work required. Now normally I would lay the chicken down on the cutting board and I'd season each piece with the lemon pepper. But I'm being a little lazy today because I also don't want to have to then wash the cutting board. So I've got all the chicken in the bowl here. I'm just gonna eyeball the seasoning. So, you know, just like, just get that lemon pepper in there. And I don't need any salt because the lemon pepper has salt. Even the cheese has a bit of salt. So we can season at the end if we require more salt. So there's a good amount of lemon pepper going in here. I think that should be probably like a teaspoon or 2 maybe. And now just use the tongs and just give everything a mix. There we go. Perfect. All the chicken pieces, just make sure they are coated. Yeah, they look good. Looks like we got enough seasoning in that bowl. And guys, I have not washed this chicken, and you don't need to wash your chicken. So I know this is a very controversial topic, especially people who are Asian. So I will just say my 2 cents on the matter. But before that, I will add a little more seasoning. I feel like it could use a tad more. I can also give you an English lesson while we're at it. When you say a tad, it already implies a bit. So you don't need to say a tad bit. I used to say that earlier, a tad bit more, or like a tad bit whatever. Now you just say a tad more. Yeah, okay. So chicken is done. Yeah, so washing the chicken. Now if you are buying chicken in the supermarket that is already been processed in some plant or whatever, you don't need to wash it. However, in Asian countries, often chickens are slaughtered in markets, in open markets, where it is a bit dusty, a little dirty sometimes. So if you're buying your chicken from like a vendor that literally gives it to you straight from the slaughter, then yes, that's why they wash chicken. They would soak it in water, sometimes clean it with lemon or vinegar, because that's not gone through a sort of hygienic processing plant. So that is why people from Asia wash the meat often. Yes, now when you're buying it from the supermarket where it is all pretty hygienic and clean, you don't need to wash the chicken. You just pat it dry and remove any liquids from it. Yeah? And by the way, that is not blood. There is no blood. All the blood has been drained. Alright, so our chicken is ready. Cheese has been grated. We've got the herbs chopped up. We've got some water to deglaze our pan. And we've got some cooking cream. And we are now ready to start this cook. So, is everybody ready? Does anyone need like a minute to catch up with where I am? I don't know how many of you watch MasterChef, but this kind of just reminded me of like the cook along where you have to keep up with the chef, except that you can take your own sweet time and I'm flexible. So if anyone is commenting here that they're in a hurry or here, let me know. Oh, a herb saver, nice. Yeah, so I generally just wash the herbs and keep them in a sort of damp towel in the fridge and try and use them up before they go, before they start wilting and getting spoiled. But they generally last a week at least, most herbs. Like about a week they'll last. So let me get my stove out now. There we are. Got my trusty stove here, and I will be using this sort of hexaclad pan. Now, I'm sure you guys who have watched my live stream before, you know that this stove does not have a low setting, so it often is much hotter than I need it to be. Having said that, we will still manage, yeah, but you can go a little slower than me. Luckily, the chicken pieces I've got are not very big. They're not huge, thick chunks of chicken. So if you have something like a thick chunk of chicken, you might need a little more time and a little lower heat so the chicken can slowly cook all the way through. And if you're using chicken breast, remember chicken breast cooks very fast. I have a video on my channel how to cook chicken breast perfectly, and there are 3 different ways to cook it. Like, that will sort you out. Just watch that video and you will be completely sorted when it comes to cooking your chicken. Anyway, let's get cracking now and start cooking. Alright, so I've got the pan on. It's on a medium heat. There's still some residual water in my pan which I will wait for it to dry up. I'm going to open this brand new bottle of oil. Ah, perfect. Now once again, the amount of oil you use determines the calorie limit of the dish. So if you are using, if you are on keto or any kind of diet where you need the calories to be lower, you can measure out the oil using a teaspoon measure. And obviously, if you want to keep the calories low, a non-stick pan is way better because it doesn't need much oil. And you can use your standard, like a teaspoon measure is generally good for cooking a single dish in a non-stick pan. That way it will ensure that, you know, the calories will come from the cheese and the cream any which way, so at least you keep it a bit down from the oil. But anyway, I'm not watching my calories right now, so I will just use what seems like an appropriate amount of oil so that my chicken does not stick to the pan. Alright, the pan's already getting nice and warm, and I'm going to add in the oil. Yeah, that's probably half a tablespoon, I would say. And I'm going to spread it across the pan. Alright. And now what's going to happen is my pan is a little small and I have probably more chicken than the pan can accommodate, but I'm going to obviously cook everything together. So the pan heat is going to drop down drastically as I add all the chicken in. You can also do this in batches, no problem. So you just want to sear the chicken first, get some color on it. Like I said, this is not the biggest size of chicken. Reasonably, it's a leg meat. Okay, I think I can fit all the chicken in. Almost there. Yeah, fit it in. Woohoo! There we go. Now all the chicken is in the pan. Hey little Suburbia, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Lots of love and thanks. Cheers. Alright, now we just let the chicken cook. Now you don't need to do anything here. Let the chicken get some color on one side. And like I said, this recipe is going to move really fast. So let me preemptively tell you that we're going to basically turn the chicken over. Once the chicken's got some nice color on both sides, we will add in the water and then we will add in the cheese, and the water and the cheese are going to sort of blend into each other and make a cheese sauce. Then once the chicken is fully cooked, we will add in the cream and then we will just finish with the herbs, and that's pretty much it. Lemon pepper chicken done. So it's a very simple and super recipe. Like it's only 22 minutes into the live stream and we're already, like this is a 15-minute meal to be honest. Like if you are a little faster than I am right now, in 15-20 minutes tops you can be done with this meal, including chopping and cutting. Yum. That smells good.
And then you eat it with?
You eat it with either plain, like just like a steak with sauce, some mashed cauliflower if you're on keto. You can use some bread, lovely sourdough bread, and use it to mop up the sauce. Rice, nice butter parsley rice also will do. I mean, the world is your oyster. Now if you look closely at the chicken, you will start seeing that it's starting to gray around the sides. Yeah, that means it's already getting quite cooked. So now we can look at that. Flip this. Yeah, see, it's got some color. And now, because I am who I am, there's something I'm going to do right now which anyone who knows me will be able to have predicted. Let's get this. I think Marissa already knows what I'm about to do. Yeah, there you go. Nice chicken cooking. And the chicken is sort of now starting to release its juices as well. But yeah, you can give this a nice hard sear. I'm going to get the little thing you use to put. But now the fun part. You know I love doing this. So I always like to help the chicken on its way. Let's give it a little charring. Add a little bit of a barbecue flavor. Definitely a pyromaniac at some level. Alright, that's got a nice smoky smell now. Lovely. So I can turn the heat up a little bit now. Just to get the second size caramelized. Second size, did I say size? I meant side. The second side caramelized. Don't worry, take your time. We're just getting the chicken nice and brown. The cast iron takes a little more time to heat up. Again, depends on the kind of stove you have. So now I'm going to give this chicken one more flip. And this is cooking quite rapidly. Like I said, these are small-ish pieces of chicken. I can feel like how juicy the meat is already. So I'm going to give this another pyro. Just kiss it with the fire. Again, this is optional. If you don't have a blowtorch, that's fine. Just get some caramelization. I just love this sort of yakitori. Woo. Now you can hear that chicken sizzling because I turned the heat up. Now you can really see the browning on the chicken. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit. Alright. And you guys, come here. Look at the browning on this chicken. That's what we want. And you can see here in the pan, there are these little brown bits here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some brown bits here. This means it is our time to deglaze the pan. Yeah, because we've got all those lovely brown bits of flavor. The chicken is nice and juicy. Now, normally I just pour the water, but since you guys are here, I'm thinking I need to measure out the water as well. So I'm going to take, let's do half a cup of water. Okay? Half a cup of water. There it is. Lovely. Now again, you can adjust the water depending on how saucy you want. Okay, so now I'm going to move away from the tongs and I'm going to get the spatula, which is right here. Now this, or a wooden spoon, or even a spoon like a silicone spoon will work, because you want to scrape those brown bits from the pan. If you have a non-stick pan, do not use any metal. If you're using a cast iron, metal is fine, but I would just use a wooden spoon kind of thing. Even the tongs you can use, but it just makes it a little easier with this. And see, now what's happened is this water has basically become a lemon pepper chicken stock, essentially. So you give it a good stir like this. Just get all the brown bits off the bottom. Now this chicken is going to braise in this beautiful stock. And of course, one thing you can do is you can taste this for seasoning. Now the chicken is pretty much cooked all the way through almost. Like it's got probably like a little bit left to go. And if you are doubtful, you can always use a thermometer like this. So this thermometer, let's just check where our chicken's at. So chicken needs to be cooked to about 72 degrees. So I'm going in. Yep, the chicken's fully cooked at 74. And the good thing about chicken thighs and leg meat is that you can overcook it and it's still not going to be like dry. It's quite forgiving that way. So anyway, chicken is cooked. Now we're boiling out some of that liquid. We're going to get a spoon to taste, because I want to know how salty this stock is. It's not salty. Ooh, spicy. Ooh. Now in goes the cheese. Now the cheese is just going to melt into the sauce. And it will also temper any spice in case you got a spicy lemon pepper sauce. Okay, now we're just going to let this cheese melt. Now if you were using chicken breast, of course chicken breast will start drying out much quicker. And now we want the cheese to melt into this sauce. So you can flip the chicken pieces over and just start giving everything a good mix. There we go. Beautiful. Let that cheese melt into the sauce. And this along with the cream is what's going to give that sauce body. Just look at that, beautiful. Yeah, so we'll do that. Now we can give this another quick taste. Oh yum. So I'm going to open this cream now. Now cream also I'd say maybe half a cup should do. You can make it creamy if you like. There you go. Again, now I would normally eyeball it, but since you are all here, let's use half a cup of cream. Actually, a little less than half a cup. Okay, let's do a half cup. Alright, there we go, half a cup of cream. There we go, we got the spatula and we can get everything out. Now this is not heavy cream, this is actually cream that is only 25% fat. So it's a lot lower in calories than say double cream. So if you're using like double cream and you're watching the calories, then make it, use a little less. And there we go. Yeah, beautiful. Alright, sauce becoming all nice and creamy. And now you just cook it down to your personal taste. So if you want to thicken it up a little bit, you can. And make sure your chicken is nicely covered in that creamy sauce. Yum. So that is a lot of sauce. So you can always add more chicken to the sauce if it's too much. Or if you want even less sauce, use a quarter cup of water and use a quarter cup of cream. So that will give you less sauce for this amount of chicken. But you know what? I'm going to use this sauce with some pork chops. So once I finish the chicken pieces, I'll just save the sauce and make pork chops and use this sauce with that. That's perfect. Beautiful creamy sauce. Now we'll let it reduce a little bit. As always, continue to taste. Because see now, as you reduce it, the saltiness will intensify. So if you taste it now and it's perfectly salty, you don't want to reduce it too much. If it is not salty at all, wait till it's the thickness you are looking for and then check for seasoning, and if it needs a little salt, you can add. If you feel it needs a little more lemon pepper, you can give it a sprinkling of lemon pepper now as well, no problem. Let's taste the sauce. Ooh, oh that's good. I can reduce it a little bit because it's not too salty, but it's lovely and cheesy and rich. Oh yeah, that's so good. Oh wow, this with some rice will be delicious. It's almost like eating, like if you added some rice. In fact, if you had some rice, you could add it in now and remove the chicken and cook the rice in the sauce, and it's a creamy risotto. Yum, that is delicious. That is perfect. And just of course keep stirring it, because depending on your pan it may or may not stick to the bottom, so you don't want anything to burn. Yeah, because the cheese is melted in and it's just become a beautiful sauce. Of course, if you have lemons at home, you could always zest a little lemon on top of this for an extra bit of lemoniness, which I don't have, so I'm not doing that. And yeah, like look at that sauce. It is like fairly liquid, but again, I'm not trying to make this like a super thick sauce, because it's just like, it's great with anything. There we go. Keep stirring that. And like I said, if you're using chicken breast, you have to keep an eye on cooking it. If you watch the original lemon pepper video that I have, that's a good instruction manual as well, with exact measurements, cooking time and all for like chicken breast as well. There you go. You can take a piece of the chicken out actually. There we go. So I can taste the chicken as well. Let's just bubble away. This is going to be hot, so I don't want to burn my tongue. Any questions on that one?
No, there's no one.
Oh, the old channel is officially died now. That's okay. Is it a public live stream? Or did we make a mistake and not make it public? Should have been. Anyway, we'll find out later. It's too late now anyway. Chicken is cooked. Sauce is good. I think I'm happy with this. Give it one more stir. And some of that cheese is getting stuck at the bottom. That's nice. You can thicken the sauce a little. Alright, so we're good as far as I'm concerned. How are you guys doing? Awesome, I'm so glad I made you hungry. Hopefully breakfast is delicious. Alright, there we go. Our sauce is... I'm happy with the sauce. I mean, I can thicken it more, but I don't think I want to. Plus, I'm going to let this sit till tomorrow because this is my lunch tomorrow. And it's going to taste even better tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to turn the heat off now. And nothing is left to do but to finish it with our parsley. So I like to do the parsley first. The parsley first, I don't know why. And then the chives. Chives are more delicate. And then just throw all of it in any which way, doesn't matter because... There. And that is our lemon pepper chicken done and ready. And now I'm getting that lovely smell and the herbaceousness of the parsley. And I give this a good mix. Beautiful. Lemon pepper chicken done the headbanger's kitchen way. Just in case anyone comes at me, this is not how you make lemon pepper chicken. This is the headbanger's kitchen way to make lemon pepper chicken. I will say one thing though. I could have been more generous with the, or maybe it's just this lemon pepper seasoning. I feel it's not lemon peppery enough, and maybe I also was not very heavy handed because I knew there was chili in it. So maybe we can give a little sprinkling just to kiss the dish with it. Just like a kiss of lemon pepper. Just a little. Yeah. Like I said, if you have a lemon at home, a little fresh zest on top, take it to the next level. If you eat, actually even if you are keto, just throw some keto pasta in this. You get so many varieties now, shiratake noodles, zucchini noodles, whatever diet you're on, just high protein noodles, just throw stuff in here and it'll be absolutely yummy. Thank you so much. I'm going to definitely be doing more of these live streams. So my current plan with the new channel, not the old channel, is alternate weeks I will do a live stream like this where we cook along together, and alternate weeks a pre-recorded short recipe. So that's the plan as of now. I really enjoy cooking live like this for you guys, so let's see how it goes. Let me know how you guys are doing cooking wise. Have you finished making your dish yet, or are you somewhere in the middle? I almost burned myself there by touching the pan. Give this a nice mix. Make sure that chicken is soaked in the sauce. Those who are cooking along, let me know where you have reached. Is your lemon pepper chicken ready? Are you still simmering it? That's good. Can I take this from you one second?
Yep.
See you guys, I'm doing a live stream on this other channel as well. And wow, is this even live? Interesting.
It is live.
But is it public? I don't think it's public, huh?
Oh.
I have a feeling
I
some...
didn't change. If I
No, it was, I mean, it was public earlier. Anyway, that's fine. We'll figure it out later. I pulled the chicken and I'm going to make the sauce perfect before adding them back. Yeah, perfect. Makes sense. Definitely can do that. Don't want to overcook the thighs for sure. Nice.
Oh, it's going to put on some soul fish.
Yeah, that sounds delicious as well.
Would actually taste nice on fish.
Yeah, actually, this is a great sauce for fish. Like I said, pork chops, fish, even a steak. It's not bad. Like if you seared your steak and you just use the sauce and you added some like fresh pepper to this, maybe some green peppercorns, like it'll become a pepper sauce for steaks. The world is your oyster. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this back. Okay, you guys on the old channel, I'm gonna say bye bye to you. Bye bye, guys. You guys, bye. You can end this live stream. You guys are still on, so don't go anywhere.